guys, my name is Christina and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my mom's no-bake cake. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is gather all of your ingredients. So what you're going to need for this is not anything too crazy. We're going to need some whipped topping. This is the one that I used. I have some Honey Maid crackers, graham crackers. I have a cup of milk and some vanilla instant pudding. I also have some cut up strawberries for at the end, just to decorate, as well as I'm going to be using food dye in mine just to make it prettier. You don't have to, that's completely optional, up to you. And I also have sprinkles for the end. You're also going to need a mixing bowl, another bowl for a side of milk, but we'll get to that in a little bit, and then something to make your cake in. This one is obviously a lot smaller than I would normally use, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this one. And then you will need a mixer. If you do not have a mixer, you can hand mix it. Just make sure that it's smooth. And I'll show you guys the texture that it needs to be. So first things first, we're gonna start mixing our ingredients. All right, so here I am. I'm just adding in the whipped topping. All right, and here I am. I'm gonna use the entire packet of the vanilla pudding. Okay, now I'm just adding the milk in. That was 1 cup. Done that. And I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the mixer and start mixing. Plug in my mixer. And I'm gonna start off on a lower setting on the mixer, and then I'm gonna work my way up. Okay, and just make sure you guys are scraping off those sides so there is no extra on the sides, and you guys are mixing that back in. Okay, and this is what your consistency should look like. I'm gonna grab the spatula here and show you guys kind of that it should drip down and still be thick at the same time. Nothing too watery. Go ahead and use some yellow. Maybe it'll turn out pretty cool and like orange. So I just put a bunch of drops in. I'm not gonna mix anymore. I'm just gonna kind of stir it together with my little spatula. Okay guys, and just make sure that you are mixing in that food coloring in evenly if you do decide to add some. So mine's looking pretty yellow. I think I'm going to add, I don't know what to add. Maybe. All right guys, and here I am adding a little bit more of that food coloring. The more that you guys add into it, the more vibrant and brighter your color will be until you get it to that perfect color that you are searching for. I added probably about, I would say a little bit over 20 drops altogether, maybe even more. Nice yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side. We'll need it in a bit. Now this is where this bowl comes in. We're just going to grab some milk. I'm using whole milk. You guys can use 2%, whatever you have at home is fine. Side, and of course I spilled. So if you're anything like me, have some paper towels nearby because you probably will need them. Okay, we want a clean surface. All right. So I have my milk. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my crackers. how much I need. Usually an entire box of these is fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not really making a big one, so it'll be fine. To break these, so they come in like a little square, like a rectangle like this, and you're just gonna wanna break them in half. You can break them in half again, but I wouldn't recommend it because then they become really mushy. So you're gonna take what you're gonna build your cake in. I'll bring this to my side, and obviously make sure you wash your hands, you sanitize your surfaces before you even start this. And we're gonna go ahead and soak that in there and just go ahead and line it on the pan. And you're gonna keep repeating this. Just dipping and putting your crackers in. See, like if they break like this, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and dip them piece by piece. It will all come together. I mean, you're gonna cut it at the end anyway, so it's not a huge deal, so don't worry about that. See, so now I have my first layer down. I'm gonna go ahead and start, well, not my first layer, my first row, I should say. And we're gonna go ahead and just keep lining them down. Complete looks something like this, and that's when you're gonna go ahead and grab your cream. You're just gonna put like let's go with 2 spatulafuls to start.
Okay, and just make sure that you guys are coating those graham crackers nicely and evenly all over. And here I am starting my second layer. I'm doing the same thing, just dipping the graham crackers in the milk and just going ahead and going row by row.
We're done with our second layer, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab some more of our mixture. Alright, so I have this part done. We're gonna keep going. I think I'm gonna do it about 4 layers tall. I usually do only about 4 or 5.
Still going on step by step, just dipping the graham crackers and going row by row. My mom actually has been making this cake for as long as I can remember, and we definitely all prefer it. So she makes it for like our birthdays and stuff. It's a lot lighter and fluffier than regular cake is, so it's not so heavy on the sweet, while it's still sweet at the same time, if that makes sense. Okay, and I'm just making sure that there's a nice thick cream layer, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that next row.
I'm gonna do 1 more layer, and then that should be it. It doesn't really matter how many layers you do. However many you want, that's completely fine. Depending on how tall you want your cake to be, depending on how many people it's for.
And if you're anything like me, go ahead and grab some paper towel before you get started, because as you can see, I've made quite a mess.
as Lassie, but I'm still doing the last layer. Just make that nice and smooth, and I'm just gonna go into the sides too, and just make sure the sides are nice and covered. I'm just gonna sweep my spatula on the side. Covered. I'm gonna take another paper towel and I'm just gonna go ahead and clean off the sides so they look nicer, because I did spill some milk. I got some of the mixture on there just to make it looking nice and presentable. So don't be worried if you get a little bit messy like I did. We can just go ahead and clean that right up, so it's not a big deal. Should have something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and decorating it. First thing I'm gonna do is add sprinkles, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place our strawberries.
Now, with the adding of the sprinkles, add as many sprinkles as your heart desires. Clearly, mine desired a lot. And the rainbow sprinkles that I am using, I got from
I'm
Jewel.
gonna go ahead and start placing my strawberries. So I did wash these and I dried them beforehand. But that's okay, however many you end up using. And this is our final product. No bake cake, and I'm gonna go ahead and slice it for you guys just so you can kind of see. And I'm just gonna kind of cut like a little square out of it. I would advise you guys to refrigerate this for at least a couple hours so everything goes together. Because see, now mine's kind of breaking apart, so that's why we want to refrigerate it, make everything stay nice. This is what it looks like on the inside.
So obviously I cut in the cake just so that you guys could see for the purpose of the video, but make sure you guys do refrigerate it for about 3 hours before serving so that it doesn't break apart and the milk absorbs nicely.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys decide to recreate this at home. Thanks.